a little fun with spare change. Today, we are joined by a great pair, Deneen Borelli and David Asman.
Hi.
And first up, we've got NYPD cops saying thieves made off with $160,000 in jewelry from this. David, the Four Seasons Hotel display case in Midtown Manhattan is where they got the jewelry. And it gets worse than that. There was most of the surveillance cameras, they were not even functional. The thieves stole 2 watches, a diamond chain, and a pendant all around 2 a.m. David, they said $160,000 worth of jewelry. It was like right next to where you check in. You know, how did they get away with this?
I'm not a fan of Robin Hood and these steal from the rich and give to the poor. On the other hand, I am intrigued by cat burglars. Something about cat. Ever since Alfred Hitchcock's movie To Catch a Thief with you're too young. You don't remember that. But there's something intriguing. You're both too young. She asked me the question. The point is that they left this stuff out at 2 a.m. What kind of idiots in New York City leave expensive jewelry out in a display case at 2 in the morning? Come on.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense.
But the criminals, people are getting desperate now. They're going to make even bolder moves. And these guys went after the low-hanging fruit. And that was this jewelry that was just sitting there. It was like an open invitation for them.
Hey, you know what? These kind of guys, if they were able to pull that off, I mean, they must be somewhat smart guys. All right, moving on to the meteorite rush. After a meteorite hit Russia last week, scientists and treasure hunters are scrambling to find fragments. One amateur space enthusiast says that 1 gram of this meteorite, 1 gram, could be worth up to $2,200. That's more than 40 times the current price of gold. Who's up for a trip to Russia?
Let's go to Russia.
Deneen, I'm thinking people are on the ground, like, scrambling to find. That's a lot of money.
But it's capitalism at its best, right? You got people looking for this stuff, and it's going to bring in a lot of money, just like you mentioned.
You know, capitalism always, even in the Soviet Union, even when Russia was controlled by the communists, of course, they're still controlled by the communists at the top. That's what, I don't think Putin ever left it. But you can't destroy that instinct, that capitalist instinct that has been. Of course, the thing fell in a deep lake, by the way. I'm just wondering how many fakes we're going to be seeing on the market. This is Russia, and they specialize in these fakes, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing millions of fakes.
There's going to be all kinds of problems that erupt from that. All right, well, moving on. Sometimes you have to spend money to save money, at least if you're the city of Baltimore, Maryland. The city paid outside consultants. This is crazy. They paid consultants $585,000 on how to save money, in its budget. Maybe they should start by not hiring consultants to tell them how to save money. What do you guys think of this?
One of the responses should have been not to do something stupid like this and spend all that kind of money.
When you're spending other people's money, you just don't care how it's spent. I mean, there was that classic example when Donald Trump took over this city project here in New York to make an ice skating rink in Central Park. They spent 2 or 3 years trying to do it. They were always over budget. Donald Trump took it over in 6 months. He did it under budget, under time. Let the private sector do it.
Well, you can't spend what you don't have. It's common sense.
Yeah, well, if we were to learn from the government, this would be a great thing to do, right?
Right.
But see, I've always learned from the lesson, because I always think that people need, like, if you're going to go for an interview, spend the money on a new suit. Sometimes, David, it does make sense to spend money.
As an individual, as a private company, yes. As a government, no. I mean, again, they're just spending the money. I'm sure it's going to turn out that the guy who ran this agency was a brother-in-law of one of the politicians that was commissioned to find a survey, you know? It's always connected.